What we need to remember from the previous video until now is to always consider the presence of the given. Okay? Because the given, diba, just like in your usual problem solving, we start with the what is asked, what are the given, and then the tool. At the bottom are the what is asked, are the questions. Now let's go to the given. Again, we have 40 students here. Okay. These 40 students represents the universal set. In short, we need to come up with a universal set. In our Venn diagram, it's just as easy as placing a rectangular figure and labeling it with universal set. So this is a universal set. The hint here is everything inside this Venn diagram must sum up into a 40 so that we could say that this is our universal set. For a while, we are adjusting. Ay, ito na lang. Yan. Universal set. Okay. And last time, we were able to establish that there are three different major groups. Number one, for those students who are able to visit Cebu. Number two, able to visit Baguio. And number three, able to visit Dapitan. The next items below were just intersections or connections. Okay, so that is our task to determine right now. Number one, there are students who are able to visit Cebu and Baguio. So in short, the Cebu and Baguio circular figures must be connected. Number two, there are some students who were able to visit Baguio and Dapitan. In short, the Baguio and Dapitan circular figures for your Venn diagram must also be connected. What is added here is that Cebu and Dapitan must also be connected because of this given. And finally, all of the three cities, since there is a given that there are two students who are able to visit the three, they must all be connected. So how do we do that? Let's start with step by step muna. In making your Venn diagram, you could actually make it easier if you're not going to rush things up. So let's start with the first figure. So we have here the circular figure for Cebu. Okay. Cebu. Yan. Okay. Again, we all know that Cebu and Baguio are interconnected. In short, the circular figure for uh the circular figure for Baguio must be connected with that of Cebu. Let me just adjust it for a while. Yan. That they are connected. Now let's label it with B. Okay. Next, Baguio and Dapitan are also connected. So make sure that the circular figure of Baguio and Dapitan must also be connected. But wait, this is not the final because there is a given that Cebu and Baguio must also be connected. Okay, so how do I do that? So I need to connect it here. I also to connect it here. So probably I could connect by placing it here. Okay, by making this figure, we have an area here. We have an area here which is connected to Cebu, and this is the Dapitan. We also have an area here which is a common area for Baguio and Dapitan. So it now addresses the third connection, okay, which is actually okay. But again, this is not yet the final because there should be an area for all three uh, sets to be connected. As you can see, there's an area for Cebu and Baguio. There's an area for Cebu and Dapitan. There's an area for Baguio and Dapitan. But there is no common area. Probably this dot here at the middle. And we cannot place anything there. Sabi nga, may dalawang student. We cannot place it there. So what we need to do is to make like this. Yan. This is now, this area here. Okay. So let me label this one. This is of the the pita. Right? So this area here, this is the area common to all three. This is the area which is part of of the green circle for Cebu. This is also part of the blue circle, which is Baguio, and this is also part of the pink circle, which is for Dapitan. So that is our Venn diagram. Or you could actually just, for some of you who would like to, no problem, you could rotate that, okay, rotate that, yan, or just like that, or you could rotate, balik natin, okay? You could rotate that. I'll just make it in the center para mas maganda tingnan. Yeah, I'm gonna place it in the center. Yeah, so this is now our final Venn diagram for I mean Venn diagram without the inputs yet, without the inputs yet. Okay, so let's start placing now the values. As I suggested last time, we should start bottoms up. Bottoms up if the intersections are in the bottom. Okay, so let's start with bottoms up. We start with two were able to tour all three cities. Again, we know that this area here is the common for all three. So that is where we're going to place two. We're going to place two here. Okay. Two were able to visit Baguio, Cebu, and Dapitan cities. That is the common area. Do not start with this area here. Start with the middlemost so that you can trim down other possibilities of intersection. Next, three were able to tour both Cebu and Dapitan. The area for Cebu and Dapitan, right, is this area and here. This is the area for both Cebu and both Dapitan. Again, this area is for both Cebu and Dapitan. Okay. However, however, two is already part of this area. Two. And what when and there are only three. Three lang po, tatlo. So since we already have two here, what we need to do is to place the additional one student here. Okay? This makes sense. Three students were able to tour Dapitan and Baguio, and two students were able to visit Cebu, Baguio, and Dapitan cities. Okay? Next, seven were able to tour Baguio and Dapitan. Sorry, I have made a mistake pala for a while. Okay? So this is not here. I interchanged the values. Uh-huh. So it's not there pala. My bad. It's here pala. Cebu and Dapitan. So Cebu and Dapitan. Three were able to visit Cebu and Dapitan. So Cebu and Dapitan. Sorry, my bad. So seven were able to tour both Baguio and Dapitan. So Baguio and Dapitan. This is the area earlier I placed. So that's my error. Okay. So again, this is the area for both Cebu, both Baguio and Dapitan. We already have two. To come up with seven, we need to place five. Okay, five. And next, three were able to tour both Cebu and Baguio. So again, the area for Cebu and Baguio is this area in here. Cebu and Baguio. We already have two. We have three. So we only need to place one. One. Okay. Yan. Pagkatapos nun yan, relax muna. Okay? Huwag mo nang magmadali. Again, it's not good to rush things up here. Okay? It may take time. You may um, what do you call it? Develop your speed if you're going to practice from time to time. Okay. Now let's go now to two were able to tour. 12 were able to tour the Pitan City. So the pink circle must contain 12. 12 were able to tour the Pitan City. We already have 1, 2, and 5 as part of our process earlier. So we have 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 1 is 8. To make it 12, we need to add 4 here. So again, 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 5 is 12. Am I right? Yeah. Next, 16 were able to tour Baguio, sorry. 16 were able to tour Baguio. So the blue circle must also be 16. So we already have 5, 2, and 1. That's 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 1, 8. To make it 16, you need to place here 8. And finally, for the Cebu group, You already have 1 plus 4, 1 plus 2 plus 1, which is 4. To make it 5, you just need to place here 1. Okay. So out from all the connections, intersections later on, we have come up with this Venn diagram. The final thing you need to determine is, again, before we go to what is asked, is to go back to the universal set. The universal set has 40 students. So examining the total accumulated number of students here, you have 1 plus 1, 2 plus 8, 10, 15, 17, 18, 22. Let us do it all again. 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 4 plus 1, 5 plus 4, 9 plus 5, 14 plus 8, 22. To make it 40, 40 minus 22, we need to have 18 students. Okay? 22 plus 18, it results to to the result, which is 40 students. Again, you can place it here, 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 or anywhere as long as it's outside the circular figures, because it does. These students, they may visit, they were able to visit other cities other than the Cebu, the Baguio, and the Pitan. Not clarified. Okay? Yeah. So that is our Venn diagram. But again, Venn diagram here is just a tool to solve problems. Okay, we have the questions at the bottom that we need to answer. Number one, how many students were not able to tour any of the three cities? To answer the question, it should only concern on the number of students outside the circular figures, but still inside the universal set. In this case, we have 18. So the answer here is 18. This is for number one. Let me reduce the font size. Uh, we have 18. I have added here additional questions to induce your analysis. Okay. Number one, how many students were able to tour Cebu only? If you will answer five, almost there. Okay. Why? Yes, in the given, we have five were able to tour Cebu City. But out of those five students, some of those students were also able to visit Baguio and Dapitan. Ang tanong po is, how many students were able to tour Cebu only? Yung Cebu lang talaga ang napuntahan. Di siya nakapunta ng Baguio. Di pa siya nakapunta ng Dapitan. The answer to that question is the item located in this area here. Because this is the item that is not connected to B nor D. Out of the five students, we have three students who were able to tour Cebu and Baguio. Three were also able to visit Cebu and Dapitan. Okay, so those students were also able to visit other places. But the question here is Cebu only. So this is the area here which is in concern with the only. So the answer here for number two is one. Next question. How many students were able to visit Baguio only? So again, it concerns with this area here. So the answer for number three is we have 8. And for number 4, it concerns with the area here. The answer for number 3 in the question, how many students were able to visit the Pitan only? The answer is 4. Again, we were able to solve this problem using the concept of the Venn diagram. Okay, so Venn diagram here is a tool to answer the problems. Different from what happened in lesson 1 and lesson 2 of the same unit, which is representation of sets. That those are all uh, preliminary concepts in a problem solving using the Venn diagram. Okay, in your uh, in your module, you have another worksheet that will actually be concerned with this. So please answer the problem and submit it, well, regardless of whether you're sure or not, because at the end of the day, I will give a feedback as to whether you're already correct or not. If you got it right, I'm going to add additional question. If you haven't got it right, I'm going to ask you to repeat by giving you a remark where probably you made sort of mistake. Okay, so use this video as your in your review later on. That's all, and enjoy. Goodbye.